Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Ingraffia, Regional Director of Clinical Partnerships for Odyssey's Eating Disorder Network, and we are back with ED Connections, where we are live and connected the second Wednesday of every month. The Odyssey Eating Disorder Network is comprised of Astor Springs, Shoreline Center for Eating Disorders, Selah House, Toledo Center, and Magnolia Creek. Our expert clinical teams help clients understand that recovery is possible by utilizing individualized treatment plans unique to the client. We use a combination of evidence-based practices and multidisciplinary treatment teams for individual therapy, family therapy, nutrition services, and medical care. Our goal is to make each client feel comfortable and relaxed as we conduct all levels of care and treatment in a home-like setting. And our programming is designed to offer a clear step-down process, continually supporting clients on the road to lifelong recovery. I'm excited to be here today with Rachael. Rachael serves as our teen program administrator at Magnolia Creek in Columbiana, Alabama, which has a teen residential program for those 12 and up and an adult residential program for those 18 and up, separate homes on the same property. And we're so grateful for the time today, Rachael, to talk to you more about your role as teen program administrator.
Thank you.
Now, the impetus for us talking with you in August is, of course, that the school year is about to begin, and here in August when our Facebook Live will post. And we know that many of our clients, adolescent clients, and their families are very cognizant of the school year timeline and are very concerned about what it means, these competing interests of taking care of their mental and emotional health by admitting to a program, but also that school's going to continue going on without them outside of the program, and can they keep up? So I was wondering, as one of our first questions, if you could tell us, just give us an overview about the educational program at Magnolia Creek.
Yeah, so my job here at Magnolia Creek is to host school time for the teen clients throughout the week. So we have time for them to work on their classwork, either 2 or 3 hours a day, which comes out to be about 13 hours a week. And during that classroom time, they'll come in. Sometimes I'll have a warm up for them to just kind of get their brains warmed up and woken up and get going. And then they're allowed to just start working. Most of the time, clients are given their schoolwork straight from their teachers virtually. We have devices here at Magnolia Creek for them to log in and be able to access those assignments. And it's pretty much what virtual learning looked like during COVID, but with the added addition to have a certified teacher, me, helping them throughout that process and throughout the day if they have any questions. How they communicate with the school, it really varies by the school and the different districts. Upon admissions, I typically ask the parents to provide me with a good contact person if they know that whether it be a counselor or principal who I could best reach out to, and then that person can normally get us started from there. If not, I'm able to find somebody to email or call, and then I coordinate everything with the schools, or the students do it on their own through Google Classroom or whatever the school district has set up for them. I touch base with the school every other week just to make sure they're making good progress so that we don't get to discharge and get hit with any surprises. Like, I try to look for updates. And then we do offer extra homework time in the evenings or on the weekends if they need extra time to complete assignments.
That sounds awesome. It sounds very individualized to the student and their school of origin, but there's dedicated time built into that, the adolescent schedule for school, with you to sort of like plug in and out to support the individual client for their needs. And I think a lot of parents and students would be relieved to hear that you, as the program administrator, are taking on some of that communication with the school to make things are going smoothly while the client is with us, which is awesome. Well, setting you apart in this process, can you tell us more about yourself as an educator and your role and experience within the educational setting?
Yes, so I am the person who will serve as the liaison between the client and their school. I'll facilitate tests. If there's anything the teacher has rules that they need followed, I'll just ensure that those are followed so that the teachers in the schools feel comfortable administering tests, so they're not missing any of that. I am a certified teacher for the state of Alabama, and my background's in math, so I'm able to provide a lot of tutoring. I've also taught other subjects outside of math. So usually if there's something that they need help with, I proofread papers, I answer questions. I'll email teachers if there's clarification on an assignment. Really anything educational over the summer. And during breaks, I'm work with the clients in providing education outside of stuff in the classroom, things such as like personal finance and fun science experiments and things like that. We still have educational time built in, even when the clients are on breaks.
Awesome. You sound like a real utility player, Rachel, that you can kind of like zoom in and out of different grades and topics and disciplines within the educational setting. I think something that we hear from parents and students, which is a legitimate concern in the anticipation of admitting to a residential program like ours, is how would an adolescent, a student client balance focusing on their treatment and recovery while staying engaged in their studies during an admission at Magnolia Creek. Can you tell us more about that?
We typically find that when clients admit to Magnolia Creek, their schools scale back a little bit on the assignments that they're given. They understand that their mental health is very important, and they place that of importance also. But we do have time built in, and it being just in a smaller class size, and it's not one-on-one, but our max capacity is 8. So it's one teacher working with 8 clients. So they're able to get more attention to be able to get assignments completed. We've actually had multiple teens who have come in behind on schoolwork, and by the time they discharge, they're caught up completely.
It's got to be relieving.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and that's great for, our Facebook Live audience to know that it sounds like in your experience, schools, not that this is every school in every circumstance, but work with us to reprioritize the work that's necessary for the student to stay plugged in with while they're admitted. Yeah. Okay, great. Anything else related to that about balancing like the therapeutic and educational aspects of the adolescent program that you've observed?
Each client has a team, and their team's really good at working through those things with them. If they have things that they're stressed out within school, they're able to help them, give them coping skills to be able to process those things also.
Okay, great. Yeah, so if school related anxieties or mental health concerns around their academic experience are coming up, they've got that built-in support through their treatment team. That's great. A specific question that I wanted to ask that our admissions team had shared comes up sometimes is that if this process and the educational program at Magnolia Creek looks different for a client that might come from a homeschool setting. And I wanted to ask you that in your experience.
Yeah, I think it's typically about the same process. I would just work with the homeschool group or the parent in getting those assignments, whether that parent wanted to scale back on things that are sent or just keep the same pace. We can accommodate whatever's best for that client and just treat it individually.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again for your time today. We hope that it's a fabulous kickoff to the school year coming up here soon in August. And best of luck to you and the treatment team at Mag Creek and all of the clients that we're going to serve this school year. So thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
And for more information about our Odyssey Eating Disorder Network of Services, or if you or someone you know is suffering from an eating disorder, we are here and we're ready to help. You can visit our website at magnoliacreek.com, which also houses information for our entire network of services. And you can contact our admissions team 24/7 at 866-92-FREEDOM. There's also an option to message us on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we invite you to join us next month where we continue our Eating Disorder Connection series. And from Rachel, myself, and the entire treatment team at Magnolia Creek, thank you for joining us today. And again, we're here and we're ready to help, and we'll see you next month.